Well, the lighting is terrible. This is on my phone. The house is very red, and that's supposed to be the ceiling fan. Light fixture. Alright, let's start doing. Cool. Hi, it's Margie here. Update. Yes. I have graduated from high school via HiSat. And I'm very happy about it. I absolutely passed. Lowest score was an 11, I think. That's not that bad. I'm actually here filling out a paper copy of a DTS form. So there's that. Still unemployed. Still help out in children's ministry. Very excited, I guess. I got new glasses. They're very cool. Yeah. Found out a DTS. So this is kind of what it looks like if you print it out via Google Docs. So if you like download it, then put it into Google Docs from your computer, this is the version you get. I have no idea if people are gonna watch this. I don't. I hope people don't. I know it's so that's not a good thing to say as a YouTuber or vlogger. You don't want people to watch your stuff. But seriously, I'm doing this to improve my self-confidence when I look into a camera. And so I can have a personal track of, okay, this is something I'm saying. This is something I've said. To be honest, it's so I'm not talking to myself all day, being lonely. Cause, that's where I'm at right now. I am in my early 20s. Thanks to all those who watch this later on in their lives or later on in my life and think, oh, she looks old. And as a 20-year-old, I will say thank you. As I get older, I will say, you serious? You serious right now? But yeah. So today is Cheap Chocolate Day or Sales Day. Sales Day being it's after Valentine's Day, like the day after Valentine's Day. And I'm pretty okay with being single Valentine's Day anyways. Because I don't get the hustle. I don't understand why it has to be about couples, specifically married couples, or more along the lines of, perfect opportunity for guys propose to their girlfriends that they've been with for 2 or more years, or they've been together for a year and a half, and they feel like it's time to go that next step. So I attend church in Metairie, Louisiana. The church I attend is called Celebration Church. They have a website. I will not link it in the description, but you can look it up. Celebration Church. It is a national chain church, but for the New Orleans and surrounding areas in Louisiana. Their main church, their main campus church is in Metairie, right outside of Orleans Parish. So it's Jefferson Parish, and then New Orleans Parish or Orleans Parish. But yeah, as you can see, we are in some sort of kitchen-y area, and you'd be correct. This is my parents' kitchen. It's pretty nice. It has a pretty high ceiling. I have no idea if you can hear me. I have no idea if you can even. Well, I can kind of see that you don't see me. So I'm unemployed. Still. In my 20s. Yeah, I'm just a chubby person. Just chubby. I'm filling out a DTS application. Filling out a job app, I think. Is that a job app? I guess it counts as a job app. So job application form. Filling that out too. And out of high school, I graduated just last year. Yay. Very much a single Pringle. No, I'm fine with that. That's nothing new for me. I've been single since I was 17. So I'm fine. I don't have any major life changes. It's been pretty out there. What I have learned in the last couple months is that, one, in order to move out of your parents' house, regardless of where you live, in the United States, it costs $5,000. Not 500, not 50,000, but $5,000. If you want to move to a different country from the United States, you need 10,000. You need at least $10,000 in your bank account in order to move. And if you are planning to move outside the States, again, let me go over this again because I did say this in a previous video. You should probably have a job lined up or have a work visa that's already been through, like, that's more than 2/3 of the way through the process. And yeah, that's that. I am very tired. I'm very tired. It's been a. I'm turning the head sideways so you can kind of see my face more. Not to be cool. It's been an interesting day. It's been a very interesting day. One thing that I have learned church-wise is from Celebration going to their Thursday night things, which is called Block. So I go to Block, which is on Thursday nights, runs from 7 to at least 8 o'clock, I'm going to say. Maybe runs a little over sometimes. That does happen at the campus, that specific campus on Thursday nights. But one thing that did happen, like yesterday, two things. Yesterday, I guess somebody got engaged. I did not witness that. Don't know what happened. Two, I came to service late, but still got some ideas from Pastor Daigle, who is the person responsible for young adult ministries at that Celebration Church at the Metairie, New Orleans campus. like he's the person in charge of young adult ministries at that campus, but he also is a pastor, I guess, a lead pastor at the New Orleans East Celebration Church campus, which I guess the one in New Orleans East is right off of Reed Boulevard, right off of Reed Boulevard. And the only reason I know that, one, I went there. Two, when I first moved to New Orleans, I went to school on Reed Boulevard in a post-Katrina style school. I was one of the only white girls in the middle school that they had because that's what they had. It was a K through 12 school, this Katrina style school, post-Katrina school, because, I don't know, this was, what, 2013? 2012? When I went to school out there? I went to school a week, I went to that school for a whole week with two of my sisters till they pulled us out. Yeah. Yeah, it was fun. I gotta talk down a high school student with my words. I kicked this can with my words, and the teacher called the security guard. Having walked to the, with the security guard, I walked to the office for no other reason than, yo, you was a white girl in a very densely populated African American school. You need to be escorted to the office now. It's like, look. In my head, I'm thinking, look, they weren't gonna hit me. Okay? If somebody was gonna hit me, they would have done it when I got out the door. I got out the door pretty fine. So, yeah, that was what it was. Yeah, that's very much my very first interaction with New Orleans schools. I don't think I'm a badass, but in that moment, talking to the security guard while we were walking to the office kind of made me feel like, oh, I'm super awesome. But then again, I was 13. I had moved to a new city in a different state, and I had no friends. I, on multiple occasions, was called a new girl or the white girl. And told I have an accent, which I didn't really understand because it sounded like they had an accent more than I did. So there's that. So couple of things I learned about from the block last night. One, somebody got engaged. Two, as a prayer thing, about, future spouses and love and all that stuff. I guess, Pastor Daigle, I probably call him Mr. Daigle if I met him personally. I remember him saying that he was very specific in his prayers about what he wanted in a wife, both physically, characteristics and character. Very, very specific about that. Being petty in prayer is kind of okay. Don't be completely petty, but you could be a bit petty. He said he wanted to marry, if he got married to somebody, he will want her to be Spanish and look Asian, or Asian and look Spanish, and for that to help him open up doors that otherwise would be unavailable to him. And his wife actually is Spanish, but looks Asian. Like, I I cannot express anymore how, like, wow, God moment that is to me personally. Um, Third thing I remember him saying is in his time as a single guy, um, being concerned about what the future holds, who he's gonna marry, all this stuff. He wrote letters. I don't. He wrote physical letters. Um, and labeled them to her. Um, just a stack of them. And I think that is really sweet, really cool, and very inspiring. So I'm actually going to start doing that, writing letters. As I am a single person, I want to write letters to who I don't know I'm going to marry, or will marry in the future, because if God can do what he did for Mr. Dago or Pastor Dago, I'm pretty sure he's going to do that for me, because God's faithful. God is absolutely faithful. Another thing I remember him saying is that he's been praying for his kids for 10 years. And he said, I may be wrong on this, but I think, pretty sure he said his oldest is 2 years old. His oldest is 2. He has 2 kids. And I really think that alone is amazing. That is amazing. That even though his kids were not, physically here 10 years ago, he's been praying about them for more than 2 years or a year they've been on earth. And he continues to pray for them. And that I can understand, because I work with kids out of my own free will and out of my own time. And because I know it's one of the many things God has called me to do. If you probably looked at some of my previous videos, i.e. the 2 that I posted. I personally believe I've been called to be a missionary to kids in Odense, Denmark. Odense is the 3rd most populated city in the country or Kingdom of Denmark. The Kingdom of Denmark, i.e. Denmark. And I know nothing the culture, the kids, or the community that reside there, other than the information that is given and provided, that has been provided by that city online, in order for literally tourists and workers and immigrants to visit. So, yeah. Well, anywho, so moving out to this way. This is the laundry room. Yeah. Um, so that was something cool that I remember him saying. Those are some things that were cool. I plan on doing the writing letters, but instead of, handwritten letters, I'm gonna do Google Doc letters. So yeah, very modern. um, it's not that I don't know how to write letters. It's just feeling very uncomfortable writing physical letters. I can do emails, like short emails, but like I don't. It's very different. Writing real letters the old school way compared to writing an email or writing a Word doc letter today. I really appreciate the fact that story is in the block last night, and it was very encouraging to me to hear that you can be real specific with what character traits and what appearance somebody should have if they're going to marry you. But then again, you have to understand that appearances change over time. Appearances change over time, but character doesn't. So if a person has integrity when they are young, they will more likely have integrity when they are old. If they have loyalty at one point and then lose it along the way, don't think that was real loyalty. I think that was just something you wanted to see. That was a facade they were putting up. And it sucks that people do that, but people do that and it confuses people and hurts people, kind of strings them along. Um, and on the note of stringing along, one of the notes Pastor Daigle made was be upfront about God, your calling, your beliefs, and what God has called you to do. If God has called you to a ministry, then say to whoever you're with, this is the ministry I've been called to. Do you support it? Because if you don't, it's cool if we split ways here. It's absolutely cool if we split ways here. And that, I guess, in his life has really made or break a lot of relationships for him. A lot of different relationships. And that's very interesting. I think that, for me, I don't really have that problem because I don't really have friends. And when I say that, I mean, I don't hang out with numerous amounts of people on the weekend. I don't drink. I don't smoke. And I don't do things. I really, really don't. Because I can't, with mental health, it is, I cannot smoke. If I did, I would end up in the I would actually end up in the hospital. Alcohol and drinking in general, in my family, I'm pretty sure based on family history alone, not medical history, but family history alone, you are either an alcoholic who claims to be a social drinker, or you don't drink. Simple as that. Very simple. And I know that may not be the reality, um, for some people, but it's the reality for me in my understanding of my family. Now, if your family is a social drinker and you really are, you just drink to hang out with your friends, then I highly recommend or say, hey, maybe you need friends. Um, but then again, I'm probably just being petty when I say that. That's fine, but it's real. Friends shouldn't cause friends to.
All right, what do you need